Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsyreplays. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are going to have a look at the SU-100M1. Now, I always thought that this tank was absolutely shit. I don't mind coming up against it. I never used to like playing it. And since I grinded the line, I haven't played this tank. However, I got requested to play this tank during a stream, and when I played it, I thought, do you know what? This tank is actually quite nice. In the right circumstances, this tank is really, really nice. Now, it's good to play this tank because of the gun depression. The gun depression absolutely sucks, but it sort of gives you the feel of playing the Object 263, which obviously is the tier 10 version of this. The tier 8 version of this is pretty much the same as this, the SU-101. However, the tier 9 version is a little bit, well, I would say much different. It is all about DPM. Doesn't really have armor. It does have troll armor, but I mean, you can bounce, but it's not the best. But the SU-100M1 is just, the gun is amazing. Now, only has 1,000 hit points, and it doesn't have much armor, but I mean, when you're up against tier 6, you can get a few bounces. Now, what is so good about this tank? Now, the DPM is actually really, really good at 2,800. Reload time is only 6.5 seconds. Now, this is where the tank is, I didn't know how good this tank was. Penetration 219 on your AP, but your heat 330 millimeters. Like 330, surely that's got to be the best in tier 7, or if not, it is up there in the best, up there at the top of the penetration with the promo round. So that's absolutely amazing. You are going to get through anything. Come up against tier 8, load up the heat, you will get through it. Now, it has a 310 alpha, 260 on your heat, 420 on your HE. Aim time is also pretty good at 2.9. Dispersion, average at 0.326, and it only has 2 degrees of gun depression, which is the worst in the game. There is no other tank that is lower than 2 degrees. You have obviously the Vindicator, which is pretty bad. Now, the only reason I don't like the Vindicator is because of the gun depression. Now, the gun depression on the Vindicator, I think, might even be better. It's the same, 2 degrees. So it really does suffer on gun depression. So you need to kind of get into a position where you don't have to use that gun depression, and there are certain maps that you can not have to use that gun depression. Now, here we're on Port Bay, again, not the best. So I thought here, the right side, if I go the right side, then, you know, I'm not going to have a good time because I won't be able to get my gun down. I need flat surface, and when I'm top tier, I don't mind sort of not going by myself, but I'm kind of hoping the team will follow me. Now, I know I do say that this side of the map is not great, and it's not great, but when you consider the enemy team lineup, they have 2 mediums and a light tank, so they have more fast tanks than us. So the likelihood of them getting the corner of the river is quite high. And I always say, if you can't get that corner of the river, then you need to counter that strat, because if you will go to C and no one of your team goes to the corner, then you've lost immediately. You've lost. It's a guaranteed loss. So you kind of need to counter that strat and go down, because that means that the medium tanks that are across the river, they're out of the game. They're out of the game. So I don't say always do it, but I'm in a tank where if I go to the right side, I'm just going to get deleted. There is nothing I could do because of my gun depression. I need to utilize my DPM, and I'm going to get around the back of them. As you can see, we've destroyed 2 tanks already. We now have a Black Prince, which I'm not too keen on coming up against. So you can see me trying to wiggle. That was just a troll stupid bounce there on the on that guy. So now my P43 Biss is here. I'm happy just to attack this guy. Now we do need to take him out. It's a 5 versus 4, and we are going to take that guy out for our second kill. Now just leaving 3 tanks left alive. So you can see quite a quick battle. But you always have to play it on either flat surface. I don't think it's the kind of tank where you can sit at the back and snipe. I really don't think it's that kind of tank. You know, like on Dead Rail, where you go at the corner of the map, or Castilla, where you go up sort of the hill. I don't think it is that kind. You need to. It's got speed. It's got DPM. As long as you've got flat surface, you can see here, like, I'm struggling to get I can't even get the bottom plate. Look how grey the bottom plate is. And I can't, I have to try and aim at the top of the turret because I just can't get my gun down. And that for me that's the worst thing about this tank. Give it an extra 2 degrees. If it had an extra 2 degrees, it would be a really, really good tank. I mean, it's a very easy tank to ace, as you can see here, just 1,900 damage, and we managed to get ourselves a first class. So we wasn't happy with that. We wasn't happy with that performance. So we're going to go again on Alpenstat. Now, again, we are top tier, and I'm always looking at getting on flat surface. You'll see if you're on ridges, then you're just not gonna play well. You're not gonna be able to do absolutely nothing. So most TDs, I will sit in that bush there at the start of the game. But you know, this tank, I'm looking at, especially when you are top tier. When you're bottom tier, you can't play as aggressive because you just haven't got the hit points, and you haven't got the armor as well against tier 8s, and you will just get deleted, absolutely wrecked. So I can see now the enemy are capping B. Now I'm not happy on this bridge. We can't really do anything whilst we're on this bridge, so we have to poke forward, we have to push forward and try and help our team. And you know, as long as we get the flat surface, that is all we are after, flat surface. If we've got the flat surface, then we can, that is where this tank can absolutely shine. So a couple of blind shots there into that Yo. We do actually get him. I'm not sure how many. Well, he was full hit points, so we got quite a couple of nice shots into that guy. But we are losing. So at this point of the game, I can know that this guy is pretty much on his own. So I want to attack this guy. He's got a big forehead, you know, just like me, and so I really want to get rid of him. But then I noticed that the SU-100 wire, and for me, I don't want to get shot from him. I really don't want to get shot from him, because that will be half of my hit points. So I'm going to wiggle. 69 hit points left. That I meant to do that, guys. 100% meant to do that. Now, stupidly here, we do have the HE loaded because we wanted to clear the SU, and now this forehead just comes towards and he just gets wrecked. So we're doing okay at the minute. We've blocked 770 hit points, which is again more hit points than I have. So me blocking them has saved my game so far. But now I've got engine damage. I'm not looking at YOLOing. I'm not looking at poking up because I know I haven't got that gun depression. So if I start poking up, I'm just going to get ripped by that Yo. So you know what? I'm going to come in from a different angle. We want to get this Leo gone. We are now drawing, but we are losing on supremacy points. And as you can see, it really does suffer with the gun depression. I mean, we have to go up to sort of this kind of angle to get him to get the shot off. So the ridgeline, if I see someone playing this on a ridgeline, then you're doing it wrong. You're 100% doing it wrong. Never play this tank on a ridgeline. It is not a ridgeline tank, because you're just gonna get deleted. You're going to get absolutely torn apart. I mean, even this kind of angle, look, you can see we're on a little incline and we still can't get that gun down enough to get the shot on the J Panther. So I can now repair my engine. Now, I have the Chi 2 here as well. I don't mind taking a shot from this J Panther, but as I know that he's turned around, he's running away, I am able to sort of chase him, get behind him, and hopefully my guy here will take him out before he gets the shot off me. But he's not doing anything. He actually dies, so we do manage to take him out for our third kill, bringing it now down to a 3 versus 2. So I'm not really worried about this Sentinel. You can see the Traverse isn't bad. it's not bad. So it is a very difficult tank to circle, and because of the DPM, people really underestimate the DPM of this tank. As you can see, that's a tier 6 tank. He gets through me quite easily, but from distance, I mean, it can be troll. It can be a troll tank. So now just this KV3 left. He is a one shot, so we are going to clear him very soon. Not quite yet, but considering I'm a one shot, I don't want to just YOLO into him. We have got the heat loaded because we really, if he pokes out, we really don't want to bounce our shot. And he does make the mistake, pokes out, and we do get the kill. So a pretty good game, very good game. We bounced over 1,000 damage. We end on 4,152 damage. We do shoot a little bit of heat, so we'd still make credits, at least 12,000 credits. Not the best, but you know, at least we're in the plus, we're not the negative. So in my opinion, the SU-100M1 is a good tank in the right situation. I've always thought of it to be, that's a shit tank. Do not play that tank. And I even consider it one of the worst tanks in the game, in fact. But you know what? I was a little harsh on the tank. Put it in the right situation, and this tank here is actually a really good tank. But it's not a tank that I would sit there and say, you know what, I'm going to go and play that tank. It's definitely not that kind of tank. It's a good tank, good line to grind. It's kind of been left behind. The Object 263 has kind of been forgotten about in a way. So maybe it's time to revive the Object 263, guys. The Object 263, the original YOLO wagon of the game. It looks, it's a really good tank. It really is a fantastic tank. But again, just like the SU-100M1, it is situational. It's not a ridgeline tank, and that's the whole line. Basically, that is the whole line. They are TDs not for camping, and they're TDs not for sort of YOLOing or going front line. They're more support tanks. Maybe go with your medium tanks. They have the speed. And use that DPM because they all have fantastic DPM. So I hope you enjoyed it. Hope it helps. Hope I see more of these in the game soon because they are good tanks. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. I'm Meadsy, and I'll catch you all soon. Bye-bye.